Hello guys, welcome to another exciting video. Thank you for joining me. In my previous video, I told you that we'll be talking about database in my next video, and welcome, this is it. So what exactly is a database and why would you need a database? First of all, um, really hard to explain, huh? A database is a file. It can be defined as a file, system, or I'll go with a file. A file that holds information. Data is information. Okay, it's a base of like where you keep all of the necessary information in a sort of structured way, a well organized way, more like the way you'd store information about login. If you visit a certain building, you usually find a login book where you have to manually type in you create your details, your business there, the time you enter the building, sort of that system. Okay, so it's well structured. This is a database. It can hold information, limitless amount of information. So an example, just to give you a visual, would be something like this. So this is what we are going to be doing. Okay, so this can be a well structured way of holding information. We'll come to this later. So why would you need information, a database in your system to hold your information? Okay, I'll give you two scenarios. Uh, in the first scenario, you're building a small app that will have maybe a limited amount of users. Okay, it will have data that will be data that doesn't change, data that will be static. Okay, so data that does not have to be updated frequently. You might go ahead and save the data directly on the HTML with no issues there. But the second scenario, consider the second scenario, but if you're building an app that will have thousands, millions, or billions of users, okay, you might need to consider a database because this will be a type of app that will be, or if you're building an app that will need, let's say, an app that will need to authenticate users, an app that will need to have dynamic data, and an app that will need to have regular update on the data. Okay, so you would definitely need a database because it will be very helpful instead of you having to write billions lines of codes. You can just do something simple and everything will fall in place as the user interacting with your site. So let's get on with it. So this is our roadmap. That's what we want to create. We want to create a database with this type of structure. Okay, so we'll create a database that will have a name of the artist. Each song will have the name of the artist, the title of the song, the producer, the, the audio file of the song, and then the timestamp and the last updated. So these will be for all the songs that we can think of. So we can have. So I don't need to put the numbers here because the numbers are already there. If you can see here, okay. So the numbers are already there. So what I'm trying to say is, you don't have to worry about having billions of songs on your site. The numbers will be auto increment, or rather they will be generated automatically. Someone posts a song, so you can have billions. We're going to have a lot of data in this database. So let's get done. We've done a lot of talking, right? So database. So I mentioned in my first one of my videos that Django comes in with a database already hooked. So you can see this if you go to the settings of your main app, you go through your settings, you will see a database which is already hooked. However, you can add your own database. That is, if you want to use some other database like MySQL or MongoDB and other, because this is Postgre. Um, you can just edit the settings from here. So the database that you comes default in Django, you've seen this is the file right here. This is dbsqwrite3. So you can change if you want to have your own personal database. But the good part about this database is you don't need any authentication to access the database. Okay, so that's one advantage. So it's just time saving. But if you're building a secure app, you might need to use something like MySQL, which I might consider creating a tutorial in the future. For now, this is what we're doing. We're creating a database. So how we go about it is simple. We have an application inside our project. So inside this application, there's a folder named models. In this model folder, we create classes. These classes will be saved to the database as tables. All right, just as the way you've seen this beautiful table right here. Okay, so this can be one table, and then another app can have another table. One app can have as many tables as we would like, but all of these tables, all of them will go to the database. So we'll have one database. If you want to work with multiple database, we can do that, but this is what we're doing for now. So I've mentioned we create classes. So this is a Python class, and that what it looks like. So each class needs to have a class name. It's good to keep it simple. Just give it the name of whatever you're creating. I'm creating a songs app, a songs that table. This is a table that is going to hold songs. So I'm just going to name it as table name. So now open brackets, and then there's a certain parameter that you have to pass in. This has to be the models, the model. Now, let's get to the code. So what we are going to be creating, or what we'll specify in our database, we are going to specify the columns, those lines that move from top to bottom, right? Are they rows or columns, whatever. Those are the same lines moving from top to bottom. That's what we're going to specify in here. And then the user data, the data that they will enter, each object will see it as a row in the database, sort of how it works like. Okay, so no, in normal programming, so we're going to have something like title. So normally in programming, if you are giving variables, or if you're naming something like a title, you'd give it like equal to a certain string. A title can be equal to something like something like this. This can be a title of a song. Okay, it can be anything. Now the thing is, when you're saving to a database, you don't have to do it directly like that. Okay, so there's a special way that we use. We use the models that. Now, this model comes with a certain field types in Django. These field types will help us specify what type of data we're going to put inside the title. Okay, so like for instance, in a title, we're going to get a short string. It cannot be 360 words, it cannot be an essay, no, it's just going to be a short string. So for short string, we use a character field. You can have numbers, you can have some other, yeah, so some other symbols. So it's a character field. You have to specify the max length, giving it a limit. How many characters are we allowing? I'm going to allow 7,000 characters. These are not words, these are characters. They'll be counting something like T1, I1, something like this, starting from zero, right? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to create, I showed you a table that has something like an artist, producer, audio, and whatever. But for this video sake, just to keep it short, I'll create a last update, and then I'll create a last updated and the timestamp. Those are the fields, we'll add them later on. For this video, we're going to work with these three fields for now. So what is the last updated? This will be a date. This will be from the models. Oops. We're going to grab the date time field. Okay, and then the timestamp will also be a date time field. So that will be the the three fields that we are going to have. But now there's a last update and a timestamp. What are we? Why are we creating these, and what are they? So I'll explain this in a second. Let me just add something like this. Okay, perfect. Now, what we have, what did I just do? Okay, so we have this in our table. So, a last update has a field type of date time field. This is a field that is going to grab the date and the time. Okay, the timestamp will also grab the same date time field of the song. So the last update of the song is going to be the time that this song was added to our website. That is the last update of the song. It will be the time that this song was added to our website. And then the timestamp will be the time that this song was released. So the auto dot now, the auto underscore now underscore add, which is true, means that it will allow a user to edit this field. The timestamp can be edited. The timestamp will be the release date of the song, the date that that song was released. Okay, so for instance, maybe we after we're done, we're going to post the song, Michael Jackson's song that was released in 1980 or whatever. That we need to go back in time, meaning we have to update it to that to the release date, so we can edit that in the timestamp. So the auto dot now and the auto underscore now underscore add allows us to edit the field. But if we say auto dot now, it does not allow us to edit. It grabs the actual instance. So the last updated, just as the name suggests, will be the time that this object is updated. So if, for instance, you fill in this and then you click save, it will grab that same instance, that same time that you click, and then it will save it here as the time that the object was updated, that same instance. So that's how it works. This field is not editable, it cannot be edited. Okay, so when you're done, we do something. Okay, we do something with our terminal. Head to your terminal. In your directory, you have to say Python 3 manage.py. You have to say, now you've saved this, you want to save this to the database. What you have to do, you have to say make migrations. It creates the migrations for you, so you can see that the song which was created for us. And then the next command that you have to learn will have to be migrate. Okay, so it has applied all the migrations that were there. So we have applied the migrations for song. So we can check out what we've just from creating by running SQL migrate, and then we give the name of the app, and then we give the name of the migrations, something like this. It should give you the actual code of rather the code used to the data to save changes to the database. You can see there's something like create table. Yeah, you notice something unique here. There's an ID. This ID is an integer field. Okay, it will be counting. It will be numbers one, two, to whatever. This field is a primary key. It will be auto increment, meaning it will be generating itself. If someone adds another song, it will add the first song will be one, the next will be two. Okay, so this is the ID. It actually creates this for us. That's one good part about Django. Okay, let me just look at this from the migrate section. You go under your song, your app, and then you open the folder migrations. You will still find the same initial migrations. This is the idea I'm talking about. You can see the auto increment is set to true, and then the primary key is set to true. Okay, the serial, it's not serialized. The variables is ID. Now, if you want to overwrite this function, what you can do is inside your models, you can create any field here, and then you set this property, you set the primary key equal to true. Then that means you can even set the auto, you have to set the auto increment or you can use your own way of generating, then that means that will override the Django primary key. But I don't really find that useful to do that. So we're just keeping it simple, and you don't really have to know a lot about SQL and database management system. You just have to know how it works, maybe the table, how to fill in data in the table and all that. Django takes care of a lot of things for you. So that's one good part. It saves us time. So when we've done this, it means that we've added this song to our database. So what we can do is to save this song to we can edit this song in the administration panel by going into the same app. In the same app, you see a file named as admin.py. You can register this in the admin, meaning if you go to the administration, you'll be able to see it. For now, let's just head to the administration and see that it's not showing. Okay, so what is being used? Can I grab like a port? Should have said localhost. Okay, so don't mind whatever I'm doing. The port is the news. I'm just trying to kill the instance where okay, so what we'll do, what you're going to do, okay, I think we have a port here. Which one is there's this one. Okay, you have to do a sudo q -9, whatever was using the port, run the server. Okay, so if you go to our admin, if you go to the admin panel, you will definitely, let me log in. If you go to the admin panel, you will see there's nothing for song here. So we can do that by saying we have to import it from models. We have to import the songs, and then when we import it, we have to do something like admin site register. This means that we are registering the song in our administration board. Oops, there it comes. So meaning you're able to add from the administration board, something like this. Okay, you can even save the song. You can save the title of a song. You can see that one was saved, and then you can save any, you can create anything. So these are the songs that I've just from creating, and you're able to edit them from here. Okay, you can delete, you can do whatever it is that you want. Okay, so we are not going to do a lot in this video, we'll just keep it short. So my next video, I'm going to explain how we can get this song, now send it over to the front side. Like for instance, we created a page for song. Now we want to send that data, the page was there for songs, and show it here. So when someone uploads the song, we have to list them here, iterate them, so to say. So that is what you're going to handle in the next video. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me. Have a good day.